fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off, at some point in the timeline, Midoriya and the female Ida, which I will be from now on trying to refer to as Ida, they had a race. She got injured in it, and so did Midoriya. Her injuries were far worse, however, since her body is not built to run at high speeds and then suddenly stop. Now, Midoriya, after talking with All Might, chose her to be the successor to One for All. And now, we are going to be skipping over a little bit of things, but in the amount of time we will be skipping over, Ida will get One for All and learn the truth. Along with actually Midoriya and Ida training with All Might. Now, within this time as well, Midoriya, he would actually gain some more muscle. In fact, he would notice a lot more increase in his muscle mass. And because of that, he will now be able to get more power into his strides. And, along with that, his quirk will also further develop. Now, with that being said, we actually do have today, where Midoriya, he actually is training with the female Ida. I just fucking messed it up. Now, him and her are actually doing combat training. And Midoriya, he is doing what All Might did tell him to do. He actually is just throwing a punch really hard. And throwing his hand backwards and throwing a punch in the same spot. Now, him and Ida are actually both moving at normal speeds right now. And Ida, within the long ass time she's been training with All Might, actually has discovered One for All, full Calic. And I do want to say at this point that she can use the quirk at about 8%, which is what All Might would recommend her using at her current point. Now, she can go higher, a whole lot higher, but at that point, there is air resistance and the fact that after falling the first time, she really does not want to do that again. Now, after Midoriya does actually fight with Ida, they actually do take a break. Before we actually have All Might, who actually has asked Midoriya if he's down for them to have one last race. Since tomorrow, he does have the, entrance exam. Midoriya is telling Ida, or All Might, that does sound good. Ida actually asking if she could participate. You're sure? I mean, yeah. I could go higher too, but... Or, no, does it sound like a stupid idea? You guys are crazy fast. I mean, we are fast, yeah, but you could race, or at least see how fast you are? Come on. If you just go down to the rock that's always there, like, what is it? A mile and a half? 1.7, right? I think we calculated it. Or did we just... I don't know, it's almost 2 miles away. But if you just go down there and, let me get a stopwatch, I could calculate how fast you are, or we could find out. No, I think we'll be okay. Besides, I think you guys are way too fast for that. Now, with that being said, we actually do have Izuku and All Might, as both of them do face off at the starting line. Ida actually staying there in between these two, as she does actually announce 3, 2, 1, begin, or go. And these two do take off. Now, with that being said, let us cut to the next day, where Midoriya and Ida, they are actually walking into the entrance exam together. Now, with that being said, both these two, they did actually arrive. And Midoriya, he did actually sit down by Bakugo, as Bakugo did turn his head and look at him. Oh, hey Izuku. Oh, hey Bakugo. What's up? Not much. Well, we haven't hung out lately, right? Yeah. Sorry. I understand, but I mean, seriously, man, sometimes I feel like you're blowing me off. I'm sorry you feel that way, man. It's not like that, trust me. I mean, Roy actually standing up and lifting up his shirt, saying that he had to train for UA. Dude, I get it, just put your shirt down. Now, President Mike actually does ask these two if he's interrupting something. Midoriya is saying that he's trying to salvage a friendship. President Mike just saying carry on, as he does go back to doing what he is talking about and explaining. As Ida, she actually just turn around and see that it's Izuku, before just turning back around. Now, Midoriya does explain to Bakugo about what he's been doing. He's been trying to train his ass off every single day to try and get stronger and faster. And well, he's gotten a whole lot faster in the last 10 months than he's ever been. Now, with that being said, they do take the written portion. And Ida and Deku actually do very well. Now, I believe Deku suffered in this part because of his physical training and he didn't focus on it too much. However, in this timeline, Deku and Ida would usually always set aside time in their day, after working out, to try and study. Or they would just take an entire day of the week off to study, as to at least go over basic knowledge and things that they would need to learn for the actual test. Now, with that being said, we do then have the entrance exam, where Izuku and Ida are both in the same place. Deku actually walking up in something similar to this. Now, with that being said, Deku, he would actually just walk up and say hello whenever Ida does come walking up and actually go to talk with him. Now, Izuku does talk about how he needs to get to the front of the line, since he can get all the robots in one go. Now, Ida, she actually is trying to tell Deku that that's not a really good idea, especially if he's going to go at that speed from the get-go. Oh, come on. Besides, you should know that with my improvements, I can go a whole lot faster than that. Really? You can? Yeah. In fact, well, I usually treat my quirk as a, well, thing just to use. But actually training my body and feeling its effects on me? I'm curious to see how far I can push myself. Well, okay. Now, these two do get to the front of the line, as Deku does actually bump into Ochako by accident. As soon as he does actually turn to her and say sorry. Now, with that being said, he actually does then put on an earphone, as he does ask her what's got her so, well, scared. Oh, sorry, no, I'm not scared, it's just I'm kinda nervous. Why? Oh, well, we're trying out for UA, of course. And? Huh? Yeah. And it really does not matter. Besides, if you're confident enough to think you're going to get in the UA, you actually might get in. At least that's the way I see it. Then again, I woke up late for the recommendation day. Huh? Wait, a recommendation? Yeah. I was supposed to take a recommendation one day. It was my day off, I forgot to set my alarm. It all sucked. And I got a call later after everything was said and done. And, well, they told me I'll just have to take the entrance exam, since they cannot make special exceptions. It sucked. I could have just skipped all of this, too. Huh? Wait, you're telling me you had a golden ticket and you didn't use it? Yeah. Anyways, I think they're about to begin. So, good luck. Now, Ochako is just staring at Izuku, as there actually is Begin by Present Mike, as Ida quickly does actually rush in and go into battle. Now, she's using about 10% of One for All, along with her own quirk. Now, people are actually looking at this girl who is running around with engines in her legs and electricity coursing all around her. As you can see her for 1 second, and then she basically does seem to move faster. It's only whenever she does stop and punch something that she's really visible. And there is actually Izuku, who, after he does actually watch everyone behind him get up from the, well, surprise and shock, he actually does tell them that she's actually going pretty slow. He'll show them what real speed really is. Him actually just rushing in. Now, they actually do see somewhat of a slow blur, before it does vanish in a robot that was in front of Midoriya, just falls into pieces, before exploding. Now, we actually have Midoriya, who is running around, pulling out wires, and basically ripping robots apart with his raw strength, along with actually stabbing into certain pieces with metal chunks. Now, Midoriya is fast enough to escape the explosions that he is causing, along with actually pack in more damage. Now, people actually do watch as a ton of robots suddenly just vanish and disappear, along with actually Midoriya running up the side of a building and landing on a robot that is right there. Him actually just smashing his fist into it over and over again at super speed, as Midoriya just causes a bunch of dents before ripping off the plate and stabbing it back down, him vanishing as the robot explodes. Now, they're all just kinda confused, as we actually have All Might, who is in the observation room, as he's just leaning over saying that he got this many points, he's over here now, and then pointing at a monitor up there, as Prince Winezu is just standing there and taking points, writing it all down along with actually trying to calculate how many points Midoriya might actually get. If he's taking this silly, he'll get this many points, from what he has heard. If he's taking this seriously, he'll get this many points. If he wants to show off, all the robots will be gone. And since they're still here, he's guessing that Izuku's taking it a bit more seriously. Now, eventually we do have for Midoriya, he is just staying there in the middle of a city. All the robots around him are destroyed. And he actually is just thinking, as he does pull his headphone out of his ear. So is that it? I haven't even worked up a sweat yet. No, there's no more robots. And again, my knuckles are starting to hurt. Midoriya actually just bring up his hands and looking at them. Now, everyone does actually begin to start running away, as Midoriya does hear the 0 pointer. Him actually just slowing down time, as it basically does freeze around him. Now, Midoriya does put his headphone back into his ear, as he can hear the movements of the person's fingers in the music, as he can also hear the guitar. Now, he hears it all in slow motion, every little detail, every little piece of information. that people can't hear or even see. There's a small skip in the music before the guitar pick hits the next string. Now, Midoriya actually does quickly move in, as he actually does go to see if anyone around here actually is running away or does need help. Now, Midoriya he actually does find a girl who is completely about to be crushed by rubble. Midoriya actually just grabbing the piece of rubble as he does just throw it to the side, as he does grab the girl and pick her up, finding that her leg is about to be crushed by this piece of cement. Bending down, picking it up, looking at it, throwing it to the side, and picking up her leg, before turning and moving at super speed, as he would set her down at a certain place, turning around, heading back in, and actually fighting against the zero-pointer. Running up the leg that is on the ground, as he does actually pull out all the wires and the joints, along with actually starting to run up the back of its back and into its head. Remember, he just does stand on top of the robot as he does start throwing Fury of Fist down onto the top of it, before he's finally able to pull back the metal plate and actually crawl inside. Midoriya then ripping out all the wires that he does have a hold on, along with actually finding something important, and pulling all the wires out of that, before getting out of the robot and actually just going back to where this girl is. Now, with that being said, everyone was running away from the zero-pointer. All of a sudden, kaboom! And everyone did stop where they were, turning around and looking to see the robot as it does just fall backwards with its head exploding. Now, we actually cut to Ochako's point of view, as she did go to run and then she did feel something land on her leg. The next millisecond, she actually does feel herself be pushed against a wall, and hear an explosion. Huh? Wait, what? Her looking to see that the zero-pointer is destroyed, and that she's actually just sitting down, as blood begins to move out of her leg. Wait, what just happened? Oh, you're okay. Huh? Her looking up to see Midoriya as he does pull a headphone out of his ear, saying that he's sorry if she's gonna feel queasy in a second. What do you mean? Her grabbing her mouth as she actually does lean over to her right and puke. Now, Midoriya, he actually has to give her a second, as Ida and a few other people do actually come walking up, as some people do want to know Midoriya's quirk. Now, Midoriya is trying to explain that he just took out the zero-pointer, and everyone's skeptical to believe him, until Midoriya does actually ask if they would all like a small demonstration of his quirk. Now, he does put his hands behind his back, and ask everyone to guess how many fingers he's holding up. As Midoriya, he actually just moves his shoulder upwards. Everyone guessing that he's holding up these many fingers, and these many fingers. As we actually have Ochako, who is looking behind Midoriya's hands, as her eyes do widen. Midoriya is saying that he's not holding up any fingers actually, and holding up everyone's phones, keys, and IDs, saying that these are all theirs. Everyone checking their pockets and confused, asking how he just did that. Wouldn't you like to know? And, Midoriya holding up something and saying that whoever's lanyard this is, it looks kinda stupid. Somebody walking up and grabbing it from Midoriya. Now, with that being said, we actually do have Bakugo, after everything is said and done. Midoriya and Ida are walking out of this combat area, as Bakugo does actually see these two and decide to try and walk over and talk with his friend. Then when he actually does take a breath in and go to say Izuku's name, somebody else does actually say Midoriya, before running up. It being a purple-haired girl who did just run past him on his right. Now, she actually does bump into Bakugo and just say, on your left, and sorry. As I just made the Captain America reference, you're welcome. We do have her running up to Shizuku, saying that she can't believe that he's actually here. Oh hey, the way it is actually say, bring his hands up to his side, saying that yeah, he missed the recommendation. That's a surprise coming from you, Mr. Early Bird. You were late for something. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about what day they were. Besides, I mean, no big deal. If I'm doing my math right, I think I got 568 points. There's no way you got that many. I don't know. I just started punching stuff and ripping things apart. So, you could tell me. I don't know. It'd be very helpful if you could tell me. Really, I don't know. I hope they kept track of it right. Now, with that being said, we actually have Bakugo, who does, after gritting his teeth for a second, walk up and say Izuku, a bit louder than he did want to. Now, he did walk up, and Jiro was introduced to Bakugo, along with Ida. Now, Bakugo does just ask if these are the two who've been occupying his time. Oh, yeah, this is Ida. I've told you a bit about her. And then this is Jiro. Noya actually having his hands. Well, his left hand pointed at Ida, who's on his right, and his right hand pointed at Jiro, who's on his left. As he does actually then try to bring his arms down. And have to do an awkward movement before just bringing his hands down into his pocket. Telling Bakugo that there are some of the people he's met actually going around the city a bit. I know you've told me about Four Eyes here, but this one I don't think you've ever even introduced me to. I don't think I've introduced you to her either. I just talked about her. Now, Ida actually does have her face turn a bit red, and she does blush a little bit, thinking for a second that he talks about her. Now, Jiro does actually look at this and notice it immediately, realizing that she's got a thing for Izuku. I can't blame her. Dude's shredded. Plus, he's a little cute. Maybe I might have a little bit of a rival myself. Now, with that being said, Bakugo does try and talk with Izuku. And these two actually do walk home together and talk. And hang out a little bit. As Midoriya is able to, at least, repair that friendship that he has not been focusing on. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.